Welcome back to the Open Wide the Doors podcast here at St. John Paul II Parish Family. As we continue to journey through Advent, today we're talking about preparing the way. Advent is a season of hope and preparation, but sometimes in today's busy world, as we've been talking about these past few episodes, it can feel hard to live it out. So to help us continue to reflect on this, we're joined today by someone who knows a lot about caring for others and building community in our parish family. Our Director of Care, Jennifer Zweers. Welcome.
Thank
you. We're happy to have you here. So we'll start with a few quick questions just to get to know you a little bit better. What's your favorite Advent tradition?
So my favorite Advent tradition is something I started with my family a couple years ago whenever I was volunteering as a catechist with the first graders. What we did was we sent a letter out to family and friends that we knew, inviting them to mail us Christmas cards a little bit earlier in the season. So whenever we would receive a Christmas card, we had a basket on our table at home and we would put the card inside. And then every time that we would have a meal during Advent, we would pull out one of the cards from that basket and then we would pray for that family before we had a meal. So we would do that throughout Advent. And then on Christmas Day, we would pray for everyone who's in the basket. And then for the remainder of Christmas season and past, we would pull the card out, pray for that family, and then put it to the side. So we made sure we at least prayed for every family at least one time.
That's so cool.
Thanks.
I've never heard of something like that. That's really cool.
Yes, I started that with the kids, with the religion kids, because they wanted something tangible that they could do that wasn't like purchasing something. And the families really enjoyed that and the kids really liked that. So we just continued that with my family at home.
That's so cool. So how do you get the Christmas cards?
So I sent out a letter in November to families just inviting them that if you want to send us a Christmas card, send it just a little bit earlier because we're going to be praying for you throughout the Advent season and Christmas season.
That's so cool.
I think the first year we did it, we got like 60 or 70 Christmas cards and they came like 2 to 3 weeks earlier than normal. So that was great.
That's such a unique tradition. I've never heard of that. That's so cool. That's a really unique way to like involve people in your lives and people around you and continue to pray and let them know that you're praying for them too.
Yes.
And it's not just, I feel like a lot of times we're letting people know that we're praying for them in times of crisis.
Correct.
And just throughout this happy season, this joyful season, we're praying for everybody as well. That's such a unique way. I've never heard of that before.
It's nice, especially with family that you may never see throughout the year or once or twice a year, but they always send you a family Christmas card.
Yeah.
So it's just a nice way to like include them in the Advent season and Christmas season of prayer that, even though we don't get to see you that often, we're still praying and thinking about you.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. I love that. So since we're going to talk about cooking connection today, do you have a favorite kind of cookie?
Well, my favorite cookie is a sugar cookie with buttercream icing.
Ooh.
And it usually has to be my mom's buttercream icing. We grew up and always made homemade buttercream icing and has always been my favorite. And even to today, that's one of the traditions is I make cookies for probably every person I know. I bake over 1,000 cookies for Christmas season, Advent season, and always decorate it with that icing. And everybody always asks for the recipes. Even like I do it for my son's like therapists or the school teachers and stuff. And they're always like, oh, Jen's coming to the building with the cookies. They're all just so excited because it's with the buttercream icing, the sugar cookies.
Is there something special in that buttercream icing?
Not really. It's just the favorite that we have. It must be the right amount. Probably extra powdered sugar. I don't follow the recipe necessarily. I just make it to where it makes it easy to spread.
I've struggled with. I haven't had too much experience with making buttercream icing, but I've definitely struggled with the balance before. If you are interested in sharing the recipe,
absolutely.
So let's get into it. The Gospels talk about John the Baptist crying out, "Prepare the way of the Lord." From your perspective as our Director of Care here at our parish family, what does preparing the way look like for us today?
So preparing the way of the Lord calls for a spiritual and moral clearing within ourselves to create a path for the Lord to work within our thoughts and in our heart and with our hands. So practically speaking, it means we need to take the time to examine our own life, our own thoughts and our actions, seeing how they align with the gospel message and confessing to God and seeking forgiveness when we have sinned and fell short, and ultimately opening our hearts to seek the will of God and His plan for us. We need to clear any obstacles in our path, the noise that is all around us today that
Mhm.
keeps us so busy that we forget that we are first and foremost children of God and that we are called to spread this gospel message, Jesus is Christ, with everyone that we meet.
Yeah, it is definitely it's challenging this time of year. We've talked about this in previous episodes, how the noise and the
Mhm.
consumerism and all of that can distract from the true meaning of Christmas and remembering that we are children of God, and the whole point of this season is celebrating the coming of Christ. This last few weeks, the last few days before Christmas, it's a fantastic time to like help remind us that we're here for Christ in just a few more
Yes.
days, then he'll be here. So, yeah. Um, you work closely with care ministries. Obviously, being the director of care, we have several. How does Advent call us not only to prepare our own hearts, but also to prepare space in our lives for others?
So Jesus Christ is love. So he came for us, born for us because he loves us. But this love that he has for us also calls us to action,
Hmm.
for us to care for those in need, providing compassion, mercy, and assistance for others for spiritual, emotional, or physical needs they may have, such as like prayer, food, clothes, and more importantly, someone just to accompany them on their journey. God made us to be in relationship with one another. Matthew 22:37-39. Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest? He said, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. And the second commandment is like this: you shall love your neighbor as yourself.
Hmm.
So it's really important for us to make that space in our lives because God is calling us. That's the second greatest commandment, that we have to love our neighbor as ourselves. We really have to put that love into action, loving
Hmm.
our neighbors. God is giving us the responsibility to love and to care for our brothers and sisters. And in order to do this, we must clear a path in our lives. We have to take time. We have to dedicate time to care and love for our neighbors. And during Advent, as we reflect on our actions and our thoughts, we begin to see how we have cared for our families and our friends, our colleagues, or even the strangers that we meet along the way.
Hmm.
And we can see ways that we may have failed at times and other ways that we have really cared for others. And it's just calling us to continue to care and grow in relationship with others.
Yeah, it is a beautiful time to remember that we're preparing for Christ, but we're preparing our hearts for others, and we're working on these relationships that we have with these people around us. There's been several opportunities this past Advent, or these past few weeks, to care for those in need and take time out of our busyness, out of our own little personal world, to step out of that and care for those around us. We've had the Advent trees and wreaths with tags for St. Vincent de Paul, and
And also, the nursing homes, we collect
yeah,
money for have Cheryl's Cookies to have parties at nursing homes,
yeah,
which has always went over really well. A lot of times people in the nursing homes can get forgotten during the holidays,
hmm,
and to just know that someone cared enough to,
yeah,
provide a cookie or a thought or a card. We're also collecting cards for those, in prisons and nursing homes and other places like that, just that they remember that Christ loves them and that there's
hmm,
other people out here who are thinking and caring about them.
yeah,
We've also did a winter coat drive for St. Vincent de Paul to support those who, need a coat to stay warm in the
yeah.
elements. We also have an Advent cradle that we collect pregnancy supplies, so
Wow.
diapers, wipes, things like that. And it's also open for anyone in the parish who is in need of those, who can take those items. But any items that we have left over, we donate them to Dayton Right to Life and Bridget's Path. Lots of different opportunities and meeting people where
Yeah.
they need it.
So the, cradle, I don't know, I'm not
Yes.
too familiar with the cradle. That's at Our Lady of Good Hope, right?
Yes.
How do parishioners get involved? Like, if they are in need of things like that, who do they reach out to you, or how do they about
They
that?
can reach out to me, or they can, after mass is over, they can take an item from the cradle. They're welcome to do that. It's whatever, however they feel most comfortable.
Yeah.
But
That's
yes,
really cool.
Yeah, always unlock the door if they wanna come at a
Yeah.
different time by
Uh-huh.
themselves, and then they can grab an item or 2.
Yeah.
Um,
That's really unique. That's really awesome that we do that.
yes.
There's so many opportunities.
Yes,
There's
there
so
is.
many things that are going on this time of year. It's hard to keep track. I don't know how you keep track of that because
I'm not sure I do, but
how
I try.
how many apostolates and ministries are you, like, managing or
Around
leading?
26.
Oh, man. That's quite a bit.
Yes, it is.
I'm it's just the Christmas stuff I'm struggling to keep straight in my head. I can imagine how you keep all of that straight in
Right.
your head all year. I We admire your work
Well,
here,
thank
and
you.
you do so much here for all of those in need and helping those, apostolates and ministries, um, helping the people to help those in need. So it's so valuable. So we definitely appreciate all that you do. So one of the many programs that you oversee is the Cookie Connection. Could you share a little bit about that? What it's about, what they do?
Yes. So Cookie Connection is a group of volunteers who like to bake cookies or other goodies. I mean, brownies and Rice Krispie treats
Oh
or,
yeah.
or things like that, that provides cookies, desserts for an event at our parish or at our school. So kind of how it works is, for example, our first communion retreat, they wanted to have cookies for everyone who was attending. And so the leader would send out an email requesting 2 dozen cookies or brownies or some kind of delicious dessert that they do. And a baker signs up to make 2 dozen or 4 dozen, and then they drop it off, the day or 2 before the event. And so get to share all these wonderful goodies with those who are attending. So what's wonderful about the idea with the Cookie Connection is that it's also connecting any groups that are on campus to be able to work with the volunteers to offer, cookies, some food to be able to eat.
Hmm.
So it creates that opportunity of service for those, but it also creates a connection back with that group, with those who made the cookies.
Yeah.
Instead of just going out to the store to buy
Hmm.
cookies, you're making that connection and also allowing those volunteers a chance to serve, which
Yeah.
all of us are called to serve and to help others. And for some people, certain things they aren't able to do, but a lot of people are able to bake or buy
Hmm.
cookies if they can't bake at the time. But it's one
Hmm.
simple thing that is easy for them to do that is really appreciated.
Yeah, that's really cool. So they provide cookies for events for the
Yes. Parish
parish.
or school, whoever
Yeah,
requests it. Yes.
that's really cool. So how do people request
Yes.
cookies?
So to request cookies, if you go to the website, www.stjohnpaulo2.org, and you go to the care page, and then you go to Works of Mercy, and then you go to Cookie Connection. On that page, there'll be steps on how to make a request. And basically, we ask like 2 weeks in advance and your basic information, like your name, your number, the date of the event, and how many cookies you would like, and some drop off time so we can
Hmm.
kind of coordinate that. And then our wonderful director will take that information, put it into a nice list, and then she'll send that request out. And we also contact the office managers just to make sure that the offices are open for drop off.
Yeah,
And it goes pretty well.
that's really cool. So that's at all three
All
campuses,
3
right?
campuses, so anybody can do it, and wherever the event is at is typically where you drop off cookies. If someone can't make it, usually they'll call into the office, and either I or the coordinator can meet them at a different time, or they drop by a different church office, and we'll just grab it along our way to the event.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love that having it in our parish and um we have people in our parish making cookies for other people and
Yes.
groups and events and things like that. Like the first communion retreat. That's really cool to have parishioners kind of get involved, and I'm sure they're praying for all of those first
Right.
communicants. And it's when you have an event like that, that's a spiritual event that's helping to shape young people or whoever. It's really cool to have additional people praying for you outside of those people who are actually organizing the event and those people who are bringing their kids to the event or whatever. Having more people outside in the parish family pray for them and know that this is happening, and it's not like the first communion retreat. It's not just, all right, these kids are doing whatever on their own, and then all of a sudden they're making their first communion. It brings awareness
Yes.
to different events.
It builds up the community a lot.
Yeah, for sure. That's so cool. So why do small gestures like cookies matter so much during Advent since we are in the season?
I think specifically for Advent, as we prepare for the birth of Jesus Christ, we're anticipating, we're hopeful. We're also, planning holiday dinners with families and friends and things like that. But unfortunately, not everybody has that happy time. There are a lot of people who are dealing with grief and the
Mhm.
loss of a loved one, or maybe they are all alone. But by making, small cookies, and it reminds people that they're not alone. It creates
Mhm.
that connection with the community, with family. Um, just the simple thought of knowing that you are not alone, that someone else
Mhm.
is there, and that they purposely took the time to make a cookie or make a phone call or write a letter, makes them know that they truly are not alone. And that is a world of difference, especially during this time of season when everyone's so happy and, around family and friends. And we want to make sure that not anyone is forgotten.
Mm.
So cookies are just a simple, wonderful, delicious treat to enjoy, but it
Yeah.
also reminds you how much that you're loved,
Yeah.
that you're here, we see you.
Huh, that's really cool, so to receive the cookies, but also
Yeah.
to make the cookies and know that I'm giving this to
Yes,
someone else, and again, stepping out of your own personal world to help remember that there's other people, and I can serve other people, I can bring joy to other people, and also other people can bring joy to me, and, like,
correct.
that's so cool having that connection, that cookie connection.
Yes.
So, so for someone listening who might want to prepare the way this Advent in a simple, practical way, what's one step you'd encourage them to do?
So one thing we could encourage is you to join our Cookie Connection ministry as a baker.
Yeah,
So to sign up, you just visit our parish website and click on the Care tab, Works and Mercy tab, and then go down to Cookie Connection, and all the information will be there for you to contact our dedicated coordinator to help you get started baking.
awesome. Yeah, and they can still participate throughout the entire year, whether it's just this Advent or just any time of year, right?
Yes, absolutely. We have plenty of opportunities. I know we have like First Community retreats, prayer partner breakfasts later in the season. We have like anniversary celebrations. So we've done desserts with that. There's been lots of different groups that randomly, would like to have a cookie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who can deny a treat?
For sure. So if you enjoy baking cookies, brownies, Rice Krispie treats, whatever, check out our website. And we'd love to have some more people help bake things for all of these events that we have in our parish family. And if you have events on the regular or big events that you would like assistance with cookies, yeah, check out our website as well, and we'll get you a connection with the cookie connection. So thank you so much, Jennifer, for joining us and reminding us of some simple ways to prepare the way for Christ in the smallest acts of love.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad we could do this today and take some time out of your busy schedule and our busy schedule this
Yes,
busy
yep,
time of
yes.
year. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, um, sometimes preparing the way is just showing a smile, showing up with a little smile, a prayer, or plate of
Cookie.
cookies. So, thank you everyone for listening. May this Advent help you prepare the way for Christ in big and small ways each day. Until next time, God bless.